Hello everyone, welcome back to Minecraft, where in this video, I'll be making necromancy using command block. So the way it's going to work is that you're going to have a soul lantern, but not just any soul lantern, it's going to be a special soul lantern that you're going to get by dropping a normal soul lantern on top of an enchanting table. And then it's going to come with particles and sound effects and all of that stuff, and then you're going to get the special soul lantern. And then if you take the special soul lantern into your offhand, then it's automatically going to go back into your main hand, and then a villager in, say, like a 5-block radius or something will get turned into a skeleton. And then that skeleton won't have any weapons, since villagers don't have weapons, but it's also going to be friendly towards you and will, like, fight for you and stuff. So, yeah. Cool. So first let's make so that you can actually get the lantern, and for that I've headed over here to my second boss creation, and I'll copy that command block, and then I'll just remove the command that summons in the armor stand, and then I'll just change Soulfire to enchanting table, and instead of in the enchanting table, it's 1 block under, and then instead of a carved pumpkin, it's a soul lantern. So now if I just throw the soul lantern on top of the enchanting table, if I just there we go, then it says hi. Yes, then I can just get to doing the sound effects and particles, so let's do that. I'm sure that'll be really fun, and I totally won't go insane. Alright, so now 17 years later, all of the sound effects and particles are now in, so it now looks and sounds like this. So I'm using the Skulk Soul Particle at 0.1 blocks above the item, just so that it doesn't get hidden that easily by the book. And then at 0 speed and count of 1, so that there's just going to be 1 soul there that kind of like escapes when you make it. I don't know, it looks good, alright? And then it's also the Enchant Particle at the item and at 0.2 radius from it in all axes. 0 speed again, and count of 10, so there comes like a small blob, I guess, of just enchanting. So like, even if you have bookshelves around, I hope that it's still noticeable. And then it's also the dust particle at very dark blue, and size of 1, and in a 1 block radius from the item, and again, speed 0, and then count of 50. So it's quite a lot of them, but like, I think it looks good, especially with the size. And then the sound effects are the entity skeleton step, as master, of course, for all players, and volume of 0.2 and pitch of 0.75. So you can hear it. It's just like not as clearly as then the block enchantment table use. Also master at A, everything like that, with just completely normal volume, but 0.15 pitch, so it's kind of more like dark and stuff, as the normal enchantment table use, since, you know, it's kind of dark magic and stuff like that. But right now when I throw a soul lantern on top of the enchanting table, it just disappears. So now, instead of the kill thing, actually I'm gonna copy the kill thing, but then let's make it so that it just summons in a new soul lantern. I'll do this by first adding a tag to the soul lantern, then killing the soul lantern, and then whatever this is, UUID, what even is that? More like, you are stupid and make no sense, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, that's usually what people say to me. Anyways, now, it should just... What in the Christ just happened? Alright, so now half an hour later, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, nothing just makes sense, because, okay, here, I apply a tag to all items. Here, I remove that tag from the necrolanterns. Then, when I do this, then I can instantly pick up the lantern again, which means that it summons in a new one. So these two are then working. Then, in the summoning command, it then says here that it should have the tag of necrolantern. But then, like, it still stacks with the other lanterns, and like, here it just says no entity was found, and like, I just have no idea what is going on. Okay, you know what, after like 20 more minutes now, fuck it, I'm just gonna make it be /give. So now instead of it summoning in an item, it's just going to give the closest player the soul lantern, but at least now, it works! Yes! Okay. Now I've got a necromancer lantern, it looks enchanted, and also if I... Yeah, then that doesn't work. It's finally working. I may have just kind of given up on what I tried to do, but at least it's now working, so at least we can now get onto the power. And of course that power is turning villagers into skeletons. So first we need a test subject, so here I've got Jeff in this cage. He likes it, okay? You know, people have got weird... So here we've got our test subject, Jeff. He's in a cage, do not feed. Listen, alright, he likes it. You know, people have got weird kinks. But yeah, so first, I'll just do this command that totally didn't take me 15 minutes. And now if I take the soul lantern into my offhand, then you die. Now, like, this will just constantly happen, and the necromancer lantern won't go back into your main hand and nothing like that, but this is at least a start. And now let's just make so that when you kill a villager with the lantern, then it actually turns into a skeleton. So, yeah, let's do that. Alright, so now that's done, so if I just summon in a villager, put the necromancer lantern in my offhand, then he dies and he gets turned into a skeleton. If I just do the ability on this villager, then you can't even tell that the soul lantern goes into your offhand. But it's very smooth, and it even works when there's not a villager nearby. You can even hold it in and it works, so yeah, it's just pretty nice. And now I just need to make so that the skeletons are friendly, and then I think I'm actually done. So then it's just to make a hostile mob friendly. Yeah, please send help. Although actually, I think I can just go over here to my taming everything creation. And then if I just copy some of these, then it should be pretty easy. It's finished! It's finally finished! I've been at this for so long now, but if I just put him in there, then becomes a skeleton, and even though it's a wolf, it doesn't attack the skeleton. Yes, it can go through unblocked gaps, but shut up, you little bitch. Anyways, it's going to burn in the daylight, because of course it's a skeleton. But then when it dies, then it says, skeleton fell out of the world. Even though this is actually type wolf. So that's actually the wolf that falls out of the world, but it's named skeleton. And then, yeah, it doesn't have any cooldown, since it's like, I thought, yeah, it could be a little OP, but then I thought, like, do you really want to sacrifice so many villagers for something that burns when it gets a little bit too much vitamin D? So now that I've actually made the power, then it's to make it actually look good, because, you know, right now it doesn't really look that good, so let's just make all of the particles and sound effects and I want to die.
One eternity later.
Alright, so now I think that all of the sound effects and particles are in. So now all together it looks like this. So I'm using the dust particle, and this is actually the same as for when you spawn it, or when you get the lantern, except for 3 size instead of 1, so it's way more noticeable, in a little radius around the skeleton and 50 count. And then it's also a soul, a little bit above the skeleton, and just one of them, so it's kind of like just the soul kind of like leaves the skeleton, I don't know. And then it's also the sound effects, or then the entity skeleton death as hostile, and at 1.15 volume and 1.8 pitch. It's kind of hard to distinguish from just like normal skeleton sounds, but anyways, it's there. And then it's also the block beacon power select as master, so everybody's going to hear it, at 0.5 volume and 0.1 pitch. It's kind of hard to notice, but when you notice, it gives a really cool vibe, and when you don't notice, I guess it also gives a really cool vibe. But now the necromancy lantern is finished, and then now let's get on to the test. Yeah, I haven't done this in a while. So now there's a bunch of zombies here, 2 with iron shovels for some reason. And then let's just start converting some skeletons like that, and then punch one of them, and then look at them all go. Now there is still a bug where, yeah, there you go, one of these skeletons are actually 2 skeletons, and that's also with the taming everything, but I have no idea how I'm going to fix that, so like I'm just going to keep it like this. But now it's just like I've got an army of skeletons if I go in survival mode. Like, they try to attack me. Oh, there's a lot of people falling out of the world right now. Yeah, ow, rude, I'm actually taking some damage there. Now there's just one mega skeleton. Oh, okay, oh, there's two, what was that? What's going on? What is this? I'm not sure what's happening, but I think I like it. But I think this is then going to be everything for this video, and like, this was a fantastic success. Like, there's nothing wrong with that skeleton at all. So yeah, I guess this is then it for this video, so bye!